When I was a kid growing up in Queens, which is that way, there's probably 5 bakeries in my neighborhood that I could walk to. All old, Europeans. The old German guy, the old Italian guy, the old Jewish guy, all great. And I really grew up with that mentality. That was what a bakery was. And what we bought was a real bakery.
So the biggest misconception about Magnolia Bakery is that we sell only cupcakes. Whenever I talk about Magnolia, that's the first thing that comes to people's minds. But we're actually a good old-fashioned neighborhood corner bakery, the kind of bakery that maybe your parents or grandparents went to in the 50s and 60s.
We really are a fresh baked, small batch bakery made every day in every store.
It's made here, it's made on site. There's no plastic packaging. It's made in a factory somewhere.
This is a place where you walk in, the smell hits you. That's a very powerful emotional thing. You see it visually. We're making it right in front of you.
It's theater. People love to come in here and watch what we do. And so part of that, of course, is the baking that goes on right in front of your face. Actually, every now and then someone will walk in and say, "Where do you bake?" I'm like, "Right there." They're here, they're baking. At our store at Rockefeller Center, there's a front window right on 6th Avenue, and people love that. They stand there and they gawk, they take photos.
Magnolia, at the end of the day, is experiential more than anything else. We are your grandmother's kitchen.
People can have an emotional reaction to food, especially something like a cupcake or a cookie or a baked good, where it takes them back to, we use the word hearken to another era.
And we had to say, how do we take that and move it to the next level, but keep it?
And as long as you can reach your arm out and grab a pan and the oven's right behind you, it's a lot easier to produce the product. Small is good.
We literally were doing things like it's 9 feet from the counter to the window in the original store, and it's 9 feet from the counter to the window in our store. We took over something that's iconic. When you take over something iconic, you have a responsibility. So it's our job to really pay attention to all of the details.
There are about 10 steps to getting the perfect signature swirl, and I joke a lot about how it's kind of like Karate Kid, that wax on, wax off. You can't go to step 2 until you master step 1. It can take up to 40 hours to get this technique down. Some people never get it. Baking takes patience, and even doing something like this takes patience.
But cupcakes are an interesting thing because it's really an American iconic product. Every baseball team had a drive to raise money for their team, and it was cupcakes, and the school did the cupcakes. So this has been part of the American landscape for 100 years.
Magnolia Bakery is international. It's global. We've got over 25 locations worldwide, and one of the most difficult things that we have to address is how do we remain consistent from one country or even one city, here in New York City to LA versus Japan and Moscow.
We are part of the best parts of people's lives. And that's really something that resonates with me. It's such a nice thing to be related to the world that way.
It is truly a labor of love. I love what I do. I love getting out of bed. I wake up thinking about things. I come up with ideas in the middle of the night. As you go into that place, there's this mental place that you can just escape from everything else for a few moments. You're still doing a task, you're still moving forward, and you're gonna have this beautiful tray of cupcakes when you're done, but you can have that moment of escape.
Everyone that works with me will tell you the same thing. Whether you work, you own it, you're involved in any way, you say you're involved with Magnolia Bakery. It's squeals of delight. And that's such a wonderful way to be related to the world, especially as a business, something you have to do every day. It really brings joy to other people, and I think it brings joy to our staff to be involved.